Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is my empties for April and May. Yes, the last empties video I posted went up in, I did one January, February, March, were paired together, and then here we are doing April and May, and it's going up almost in the middle of June. I'm sorry. Enough with that. I'm gonna start with body stuff first. So the first empty that I have here is a Nivea Express Hydration Body Lotion, and this I desperately needed in the winter here in Sweden. I have never experienced dry skin like I did in my first real winter here. So that was an experience for me. This was a lifesaver. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was very hydrating. At the same time, I miss lotions that smell really good. Like, to me, this just smells like any generic lotion. It doesn't smell like, I miss my Bath and Body Works lotions. I really love the smell of those, but you can't get that over here in Sweden, so I'm making do with this. And right now I'm using another Nivea one that has like olive oil or something in it. I don't like that one as much. That one like feels like it sits on top of my skin. This one actually felt like it sank in, so I will probably pick this one up again in the future instead of the one that I'm currently using. So yeah, this was good. The next empty I have here is my Winter Wonderberry spray from Bath and Body Works. And this to me smells so good. It smells like someone tried to turn like fruit roll up into a perfume. And so I very much enjoyed that. You can barely see, there's like no, I can't reach anymore to spray anything out. And yeah, this was a scent that was gifted to me. It's not something I would typically pick out for myself, but I have to say I was pleasantly surprised with it. I love these things. They're very easy for me to use. So yeah. The next thing I have here in the body category is a eucalyptus mint hand sanitizer bottle from Ulta, and that smell is like heaven to me. I love that eucalyptus mint smell. I have like bath bomb, and I've used up body scrubs that smell like that and stuff, and I love that smell. That's like my perfect bathroom scent. Oh man, I miss being able to buy things like that, but that's okay. Moving into hair care, I've used up L'Oreal, the anti-breakage conditioner and shampoo pairing, and this was my first time ever trying L'Oreal shampoos. I usually am just I buy whatever's cheapest that I can find that looks like it won't damage my hair. Usually that's like a Dove, like the big bottles of like Dove shampoo and conditioner. And so when we moved here, I noticed, I was like, well, I know L'Oreal as a brand for makeup, so I'm gonna try some of their shampoos. I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. It made my hair feel nice. I don't know if anything helps my hair not break. My hair is very prone to breakage because it's really thin. So I'm going to continue to buy L'Oreal shampoos in the future until I hit a snag or anything. But so far, I really like that. And this one isn't technically in my empties, but I figured I would mention it. I bought this when we were recently on vacation with my family in London, and I forgot to pack a dry shampoo, but we were there for a week and I knew I was gonna need one. So I ran into the Boots, and I believe this was like pretty dang affordable, like at least compared to the other dry shampoos that they had in store. And I grabbed this, and there was no cap on it at the time, and I was just like, whatever, I'll grab it anyway. So I used this all week like crazy because we're up at like 6 a.m. trying to make buses and get to certain places, and we were doing a lot of day trips outside of London, so we were going a ton. And I really liked this dry shampoo like a lot. It didn't give me white cast, it didn't feel heavy. It probably wasn't the most oil absorbing kind of dry shampoo I've ever tried, but at the same time, I didn't need it that, I mean, like I get oily, but not that bad. So for me, this was like my perfect mixture. If you're more oily than me, you probably wouldn't like this, but I loved it. Tried to pack it into my suitcase, and I had like a makeup bag that kind of has a little bit of a structured edge, and thought that I maybe could get lucky and make it all the way home with this still intact to be able to use the rest of it up. And I was devastated when I opened up my suitcase, and this had been all the way pushed out. I can't get anything else out. It smelled great. My suitcase smelled great, but it was a complete waste of product, which made me super sad. So not counting in my empties total, but I just wanted to mention that if you have access to these Boots dry shampoos, that I really liked them. If you haven't tried them, I'd pick one up and try it. And it was a real pleasant surprise. Moving into skincare, I used up one of my vitamin C serums from Timeless, and hopefully that's focusing. This is my go-to vitamin C serum. It's super effective. It is, if you're not used to a vitamin C serum, you might have to put it on and then give yourself a couple of days break and work your way into wearing it, because it took my skin a little bit of getting used to. However, I will say that I think it's effective. I think it works. I do not like going without this when I have to wait for my refill to get here. I'm not a happy girl. I don't like skipping this. This is a holy grail set for me. This is such a good serum. It's a little bit expensive, but at the same time, I think it's well worth it, because it's one of the things that is proven to work. And I will never go without that product. And next I have my Yes to Blueberries Night Cream. And hopefully you can see into this empty tube or jar. And I wasn't crazy about this. It had a lot of like perfume in it. Like, it has a very fake smell to it. And I think that scent occasionally irritated my skin. It wasn't something that always irritated it, but if I had been out all day and or I rubbed my face too much, or I had some sort of skin irritation already, and then I tried to put this on top, it would burn like crazy. So I would not pick this up again. I really like trying these Yes To products though, because I feel like they have so many products. And right now I'm using their grapefruit, I think it's the grapefruit night mask. And I like that one so much more than this one. It still has a perfumey scent, but it doesn't hurt my skin like this one did. And I also like the consistency of that one better. This one just felt like a thick moisturizer. That one honestly feels a little bit more like a mask. But anyways, I don't regret using this up, obviously, but I probably wouldn't repurchase this one, but I'm very curious to try other Yes To products in the future. So yeah, I picked this one up at TJ Maxx. So if you are a TJ Maxx shopper in the US, you can find things like that there. Next up I have, I don't know how you say this, a Notisson, some sort of Nordic. Yeah, it's made somewhere in, it just says made in the EU. So I picked this up here in Sweden when we first moved here. I like to use baby oil to remove my mascara, because I have yet to find any makeup melter or any, I haven't tried a super ton, but the ones I have tried, like eye makeup remover oils or micellar waters, I've never found one that fully takes off my eye makeup, and baby oil is pretty much the best I can do. So I use this as a first step, and then it still usually takes me about 2 or 3 additional washes to get my face fully clean. But it's cheap, it's easy, it works. I would like to find something a little bit different, just because sometimes I don't like having to wash my face like 2 times to get all the oil off my face. But it doesn't clog my pores or anything. I believe it is non-comedogenic, which means it shouldn't clog your pores, but at the same time, yeah, if you're looking for a cheap alternative to get makeup off, baby oil works. I wish I found a micellar water. I think I would like the feel of that better on my skin. Next up, I have my Cureology bottle, and this is a subscription service that you can get in the US. You sign up for an account, you fill out what your skin goals are, you take some photos, and they pair you with a dermatologist in your state. And the dermatologist creates kind of a concoction of 3 ingredients that help meet what your skin goals are. And so it's been a while since I've looked at what my skin goals that I put in were, but I know I put in I want to work on wrinkles or skin firmness, and pore size. I have quite a bit of just skin firming stuff in here. I have large pores, and I don't remember what my third goal was. I don't remember. Maybe a little bit of acne here and there. And my prescription has tretinoin, azelaic acid, and niacinamide. Now, tretinoin is Retin-A. It is proven to work. I really like this because I get my Retin-A in this way. I keep this, and even though I'm living in Sweden, we are still using our subscription service, and our parents gather them up and then they send them to us when we get enough of them. But this here is supposed to be a 60-day supplies, and this thing lasts me easily over 60 days. I believe it's probably closer to 3 or 4 months. I actually don't know for sure, but it's well over 60 days worth of product in these little guys. So I love that service. If you're in the US and you're looking for something to target some skincare a little bit more intensely, I would say check that out. It averages out to be about $20 or so a month, I believe. I think that's totally worth it when you consider how much it would cost you to go see a dermatologist in the US, and then whatever they prescribe you, you have to pay for out of pocket. To me, that skincare service is well worth the money monthly. Moving into makeup. Sorry it took so long to get here, but here we are. I have a NARS foundation sample. Mine was in the shade DeVille. This is the Radiant Creamy something long wear. I don't know what it was. But I was highly disappointed with this foundation. I had such high hopes because I wanted something that was a little bit more full coverage. I wanted something that looked a little more dewy or lifelike on my skin, not flat matte kind of thing. And this hugged every pore. I would look at my skin at the end of the day and go, I didn't, or even not even at the end of the day, after I put it on, I would think, I didn't even know I had that many pores. Like, it was bad. So I was really disappointed. I'm glad I got to try it before I bought it, because I would certainly be very upset if I had spent the money on that. Moving into my next product, some of these you'll recognize obviously from Project Pans, but this was my LA contour stick, and this was in my Project Pan with my husband. My husband tries Project Pan. We had a lot of fun with that entire Project Pan. I'll try to link that if I can remember in the description box in case you want to check it out. But this was a contour stick from LA Colors. I picked it up at Big Lots in the US, and it was more like a cream bronzer, and actually like shears out really well as a contour. Too warm. It looked way too orange as a contour, or a warm, not orange, but I did end up using it all around the perimeter of my face as a cream bronzer, and I actually really enjoyed it as that. And you know, in the future, if I work through enough cream products in my collection and I saw this again, I would actually consider picking it up, because it wasn't a bad product at all. It was fine. Next up, I have an Essence Super Fine Eyeliner, and this is it's a felt tip liner, and let's see if I can get enough of a swatch. Yeah. Okay, so this is the thing that drives me nuts about this, is that I like the point. I think it is what it says. It's super fine, but when I went to draw and use it, it would be so fine that sometimes I had a hard time getting the color to like build up, and I had to work to get enough like eyeliner payoff on the top of my lash line, and I wasn't a fan of that. Also, I don't like this because I feel like it dried out super quick, and yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I'm gonna keep trying some other ones, but I wonder if the tip is just too long. It's kind of nice because you get a nice point, you get a nice draw with it. It's a little flimsy, but at the same time, I wonder if that benefit is also its downfall, if that makes sense, because it just dried out so quickly. Even though I'm able to get swatches here, when I go to actually put it over a powdery eyeshadow on my eyelid, like it dries out immediately, and it's like, it's really light. So it does not work for me. A little sad about that, because it would have been a really nice alternative. I believe that the Essence eyeliners retail for about $2.99 or something like that on Ulta. And it would have been nice to have an eyeliner that was that affordable, that was just a go-to, you didn't have to think about it kind of thing, but it didn't work out. Moving on to my next empty, this is it was either an Ulta or a Beauty Gems, I believe they're probably the same owners, lip gloss. This was in a Project Pan also. Took the stopper out, completely cleaned it out. I like these little glosses. These usually come in like a Christmas little set where you have like 5 or 6 different shades of lip gloss to try. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And this one was like a hot pink color, but when you actually went to wear it, it was a really sheer wash of color and a little bit of sparkle, and it not goopy, comfortable. I really like these little lip glosses, and once I work through lip glosses in my collection, I could totally see myself picking one of these up every year at Christmas. I can run through one of these little guys in about a month, so I think they're really fun little sets. Last 2 products here. The next one is another lip product, and this is the Ulta Lip Balm custom tint, and you may be able to see that is the plastic there. And this was one of those color changing lip balms. Hopefully you can see that there. And this took me, I breezed through it at first, and then all of a sudden my lipstick collection kind of exploded, and then I put this to the side and forgot about it. And then it took me a while to get through just because I had problems remembering to use it. I think that's a sign that I need to work on my lipstick collection, but at the same time, I'm still buying lipsticks. I literally bought 2 yesterday. I don't know what my problem is, but here we are. I have used this one. I really enjoy these custom tint like formulas. I think they're comfortable. I think they provide a little bit of pink like sheen, which I like on my lips. And yeah, it's this one kind of stained my lips enough, not to like look crazy, but enough to where once the balm rubbed off, I still had a little color on my lips. I really like that. And I have some other color changing formulas, like I have Frog Prince one, and I have one of the pure ones that came in the Grinch palette, and so I'm going to use those in the future, and I would highly consider keeping other color changing lip balms. I don't believe Ulta sells this one anymore, but I think Essence sells something similar, and a lot of brands nowadays have things similar to that, which I really enjoy, and I would probably keep one in my collection for the most part. And the last empty that I have here is probably my most proud empty. This is Tarte Shape Tape. This was in the shade Fair Beige, and this took me a while to get through, but I cleaned this mother out, and I'm so happy with the progress. Like I don't know if you can see in there, but I can see almost through the tube. Like I'm very proud of that. Oh man, this thing was a beast. The Fair Beige shade I thought at the time was a little too light, and so sometimes I would use it under foundation if I felt like, especially if I was using a lightweight foundation, I would use this first, because if not, and I try to put it's such heavy coverage, if I put it on a light foundation, then it would look like, oh, your eyes have a ton of coverage in your face. I can still see your freckles and sunspots. And so I had to be careful when I wore it, but at the same time, it did the job. I have just recently opened one, and I bought a darker shade because I thought this was too light, and I think I bought just like light or something. And I kind of miss having a little bit lighter of a shade, because I think while the new one still gives me the same good old Shape Tape coverage, it doesn't quite brighten, and I feel like maybe I need a little bit more brightening abilities because I have such bad bags under my eyes. But you know, I'm gonna use it up and then I'll consider buying a lighter shade in the future. To me, Shape Tape isn't the perfect concealer, one, because it's $27 and I don't love that price tag. At the same time, I think you do get a ton of product in here, but I love the coverage of Shape Tape. It's a little drying. I usually have to mix other concealers with it to get some either eye cream or something like the Neutrogena stick concealers down, put that down as like a first layer and then go on top with Shape Tape, which I don't love. I wish I didn't have to put in the extra work to make my eyes not look so dry, but at the same time, the coverage is there and I haven't found anything that comes close to giving me that kind of coverage. So yeah, I'm kind of on the bandwagon, but at the same time, I'm still looking out for a better concealer. I think my next runner-up would be the ColourPop concealer. It doesn't give me as much coverage, but I do like the shade of it. I do think that it's a good consistency. I end up enjoying that concealer, but this and ColourPop are my favorites, and I'm very, 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 very proud of that guy right there. And so yeah, that is everything. Let me grab my notebook and talk numbers with you really quick. This is my favorite part of empty videos. So in the month of April and May, I used up a total of $158.78 US dollars worth of product. And then also for the year, that brings me to $292.50. And you know, when I hear that and I'm like, well, it's pretty much June now. That's not exactly where I hoped I would be money-wise by this point in the year, or hopefully by the end of the year. But at the same time, when I stop and I look at items that I've used up a lot of drugstore items. Like the LA contour stick was $1. The Ulta lip gloss was, the little samples, they are like $1. I mean, I can't expect to have like a number over $500 if the only high-end item pretty much that I've used up is a Tarte Shape Tape, when everything else I'm using is literally, $1, $2.99. And so that's just how it is. But one day it'll even out, because I definitely do own some higher end products, and one day I will eventually finish them, and hopefully then it will add up in my empties total. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Say hello in the comments. I've missed you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.